glad I finally can show you my secret box. I bought this laser on Banggood, so down below there is a link for this product and some other lasers. Go and check them out if you want. Now let's open this and look what's inside, and let's build it and get it to work. I'm really excited to see what's inside here. I can see that the box has gotten some damage on the way here, up on top here, and one on the side here. But I see down here that there are packaging material inside, and I think nothing is damaged inside. Let's take a look. Yeah, as you can see, it's packaged real good, and it has a thick packing material, so nothing inside here is damaged. Here it is, the EleksMaker Laser Engraver. This particular one has a 2500 milliwatt laser, and it should be good enough to engrave things on different materials, but it's not strong enough to be used as a laser cutter. But I bought this to be used as an engraver. I'm very excited to get this built together and get it working and getting some laser engraving action. Now let's check out what's inside the box. We have 3 stepper motors. These are NEMA 17s, and it's EleksMaker's own branding. We have a USB cable for connection to a computer. We have a gear pulley belt to drive the different axes. We have some cable management. These are the laser cut acrylic plates, which is going to be used to build the frame. And these are the aluminum extrusions, which also are going to be used to build the frame. Inside the box there are also these important protection goggles, laser protective goggles. I hear it's always a good idea to use this. Inside this little box we can see all the screws, all the bearings you need, all the gears and pulleys, all the V-groove wheels, and everything you need to build the whole laser engraver. Inside this box we have the laser. Here it is, the 2500 milliwatt laser, and a control board for stepper motors. These are the stepper motor drivers, and an Arduino Nano. These are some testing material to test your laser, and here are all the cables we need. This bracket is to attach the laser to the gantry of the machine, and this gives you an opportunity to adjust the laser up and down to get your focus length just right. Here we have a thank you card. Thank you for your order from EleksMaker. On this card you also have links for software and instruction for the store, EleksMaker store, new products and parts, and a link for a forum for the EleksMaker products. Inside this box we have the all-important power supply. This power supply is rated from 100 to 240 AC volts input, and it gives 12 volt direct current for the EleksMaker machine. I see that this comes with the wrong plug for my country, but I think I have a plug like this laying around. So that was it. No more things in the box. Now let's start putting it together. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is to go to the wiki EleksMaker.com. The link is on the card that follow the machine. There I can get software and instructions. Okay, here I am inside the wiki.EleksMaker.com website. Let's find the EleksLaser-A3. There are some good pictures down here, so let's just start with number 1. Here we have the brackets for the frame. This paper was a bit difficult to get off in one piece. I must say that this paper is a good protection on the pieces, but they were a bit difficult to get off, as you saw in the video. Especially where all these holes were, it got ripped off, and then you had to go back and take it off with your nails. On the next picture we see that we must attach the gears to the stepper motors. So here we have the stepper motors. This is the box with all the pieces. Here we have the gears. These are regular G5 gears. I think the tool is also in the box here, the smallest one. So I'm just going to put them on the stepper motor and just attach it very loosely. You see there is a flat part on the axle here. Make sure that the screw gets on that flat part. The reason that I'm just attaching these loosely is that I reckon I have to go back and adjust them when I have assembled the machine and attached the belts, and then I have to adjust where the gear is going on the axle this way. Step 2 finished. Let's go to the next picture. On the next picture we see that we are going to attach the stepper motors on these acrylic plates. These 4 holes are for the stepper motor, and it's going to go like this. And we are using the M3 bolt. Part 3 finished. Okay, on the next picture we are going to mount the D wheels, or the V-groove wheels. There are a lot of them. I think these rubber seals are just on the bottom of the machine when you're finished. On the picture we can see that we have the M5 screw, which is supposed to be 35 millimeters. These screws, M5, 35 millimeters long. Yeah, and if you see the picture, we need 4 of these with the M5 nylon columns, as they call it. And it looks like it's only a bolt, a wheel, and a nylon column. Bolt, wheel, nylon. Bolt, wheel, nylon, bolt, wheel, and nylon. Here we have 4 of them. Let's go to the next picture. On the next picture we see that we need the plate we mounted the stepper motor on, and the wheels are going like this. You can see that the bottom holes are a little oval, which gives you some adjustment on the bottom. 4 nuts. Let's just try to turn this around. I'm not going to fasten these just now, because I know I have to adjust them later. There you have it, 4 V-groove ball bearings. Let's go to the next picture. On the picture it looks like we're going to use the 2 short aluminum extrusions. There are 2 short in the same length. And we're going to put them in the V-grooves. And now we can tighten the bolts and the nuts, so we get a good motion on this aluminum extrusion. First I tighten the 2 upper ones that has no adjustment. Then I take the aluminum extrusion all the way up. And now you see I have to adjust the bottom ones. It's a bit tricky, but with a little fiddling you can get it. Yeah, I'm happy with that for now. And if you go to the next picture, you see that we need 2 of these ones. So let me go ahead and make one more. Yeah, so I just realized that I started on the wrong assembly instructions. I went into the EleksLaser-A3X because my machine was marked with A3 on the box, and it wasn't marked with A3 Pro. But I saw that there was some difference on the model here on the pictures, so I went and looked at the EleksLaser-A3 Pro, and I know that this is the machine I have. So let me move you into the new assembly instructions and start from the beginning. I looked down the list here and I know that I still need 2 of the one I just built. I need 2 of these. That is the same on these instructions. So, but let's go to the top again and start on picture number 2. Picture number 2 tells us that we need to attach some bolts and nuts in these parts. First I have to remove the paper on all of these. The second picture in the assembly instructions tells us that we need 6 pieces of M3 nuts, that is 14 millimeters long. Yeah, that's this one. And 6 pieces of M3 lock nuts. And these bolts should go in the smallest hole in this part. I'm not sure how tight I should get these at this point in time, so I'm just putting them hand tight. Like that. If we then go to the next picture, we see that we attach the gear on the stepper motor. We already done that part. We see we attach the stepper motor on the acrylic plate with the M310 screws. We already done that. We see we make the V-groove D-wheels, 4 of them. We already done that. And we made the acrylic plate with the V-groove wheels and the aluminum extrusion. And we made it go like this, and we made 2 of them. This makes us on track on these assembly instructions. So let's go to the next picture. Here we can see that we can adjust the gear on the stepper motor so that it comes flush with the groove inside the aluminum extrusion. Here we have this part, and we want this gear to be flush with this groove. So I just loosen the set screw, then I can adjust the gear by eyesight on top of the groove here. This groove, like so. Be sure to get one of the set screws on the flat part of the axle out of the stepper motor. This is a little bit fiddly. And be sure to also tighten the last set screw. Okay, you have to do this on both of the assemblies. Let's move on to the next picture. We need to put in the V-groove bolts, like so. I'm not sure how many we need for this operation, so I'm going to the next picture. In the next picture we are going to use the belt. This is a drive belt, and we see in the picture that we are using this part with the bolt, the M3 bolt in. Okay, before we do that we need to tighten this bolt, this M3 bolt, like so. We put the belt in like this. Bend it over the bolt here, and then we use this small M5 bolt. This is 12 millimeters long, like this. Be sure to find the right M5 bolt. There are someone that is smaller than the one you have to use on this one. According to the picture, I fasten it flush with the aluminum extrusion here, like so. This way the M3 bolt we attached here earlier is pressing the belt down in the groove, and that way we attach the belt firmly. Let's go to the next picture. Okay, in this next picture it looks like we have to thread the belt underneath the V-groove wheels, up over the gear and underneath the wheel again, and attach the belt on the end here. As you see, the belt is quite long, so I want to just measure this, approximately measure. It's going to go like so, and attach on this side like so. So I can cut it here. Let's hope it's long enough. I bend it a little bit. You can thread the belt underneath and up and underneath again. Have to be sure to tighten it a bit, like so. This way you see the stepper motor runs as I push the assembly. Now let's take another piece of this, tighten the bolt all the way down. If you're watching this video and you're going to do this assembly yourself, you can do this the first time you assemble these pieces. Just tighten it. Okay, so now I do the same on this side. One of these V-groove nuts in here. Push the pulley through the slot and we tighten it as much as possible. Before we take the 12mm M5 bolts, attach them to the V-groove nut. We attach it flush with the aluminum extrusion here. We can see this assembly on the next picture. Okay, so here we have one of the assemblies finished with the belt. And if we go to the next picture again, we have to do the same thing on this assembly. Okay, when we go to the next picture, it tells us to put on the gear on the third and final stepper motor. We've already done that. And it wants us to attach the stepper motor on this acrylic plate. You can see it by the big hole with the 4 small holes on the side. And the picture also tells us that the plug of the stepper motor should go down on the longest part of the acrylic. We're going to use 4 pieces of M3 bolts, 10mm long. Try to attach it as straight as possible. You can use this edge as a guide and get the stepper motor aligned down here. Okay, the next picture tells us to pick out this laser holder mount, and we have to attach these screws, tightening screws. These screws you can use to adjust the height of the laser to get the right focal length. The picture tells us just to attach these on the sides here. One of these screws is a bit damaged. Now that's fixed, let's go to the next picture. Here you can see that we are going to attach this back plate to this acrylic plate. According to the picture, it's going to go like this, and we're going to use these 3 mounting holes. This one, and this one. To mount the plate, we are using the... it doesn't say, but it has to be these M3 bolts. Again, you have to be sure that it's aligned with this edge and this edge before you tighten these bolts entirely. So just do that by looking. According to the picture now, we need these M5 bolts that are 50mm. Yeah. And 4 of the M5 nylon columns. Again, you can see that the bottom holes here are oval, so you can adjust the M5 bolts. When we go to the next picture, you see that we put the V-groove wheels on top like so. On the next picture, we put more of these nylon columns. And on the next picture again, we put on the stepper motor plate. The stepper motor is going down here where we have one mounting screw, like this. M5 nuts, just hand tight for now. When we go to the next picture again, we see that we're going to attach the aluminum extrusion, the longest one. As I did before, I'm going to tighten the top V-groove wheels first, because they have no adjustment like the ones on the bottom. Now you can tighten the bottom ones, and you have to press them so they are straight and tight down in the groove. Be sure that the aluminum extrusion has no obstruction and that it flows smoothly. The next picture is a GIF animation. Okay, the next picture again tells us to adjust the gear. It's the same procedure on this gear as with the other one, and you have to adjust it according to this groove and get it centered on this groove. And again, be sure to have one of the set screw on the flat area of the axle. The next pictures is familiar, and we're going to do the same as we did on the other aluminum extrusion assemblies. If we look at 3 or 4 pictures down, we see that it's exactly the same procedure. Let's do it. Okay, let's go to the next picture. Here I'm going to take out the small aluminum extrusions. There are 2 of them. According to the pictures, we need 2 of these V-groove bolts. And it looks like we're going to do the same on both. If we look at the next picture, and we are going to attach these acrylic plates. There are 4 of them, they have the same size, same holes. 2 of them are going to be mounted like so and so with the 12mm M5 bolt. Before you tighten them down, make sure that it's flush on this side and that it's a straight line on this side. Like so. And if you look at the next picture, we see that you should do the same on this side. Be sure to fasten them on the same side on both sides. And if we look at the next picture, it looks like we are going to mount these pads underneath the machine, and it's going on this side because this is up the machine and this is the underneath. According to the pictures, just put it a bit inside this edge, and be sure to use the shorter one of the M5 bolts. All 4 corners. Okay, now if we look at the next image, we see that we are starting to build the machine itself. We are going to use the M5 12mm screws, 8 pieces. We are starting with the 2 assemblies we made before with the stepper motors on. We take one assembly, have the stepper motor on the outside, and we attach it like so, according to the image. These holes in here are threaded, so the M5 bolts will just go straight in the threaded hole. Don't be afraid to use some persuasion here, because the threaded holes are a little bit tight. I will fasten the other one on the other side. According to the picture on the assembly instructions, there are going to be some aluminum extrusion that's sticking out on this side. So according to the images, that is correct. The other one we will attach on the other side. Be sure to have the stepper motor pointing out. Like so. Here we have the whole frame. On the next picture we are using the same M5 bolts, 12mm, to attach the laser assembly or the gantry. If you look at the picture we can see that there is no difference if you attach it like this or like this. But be sure to have the stepper motor down and the shortest distance from the laser attachment up to the end of the acrylic plate up. And we attach it like so. I'm not tightening these all the way down now, because I think it's important to, let's say, tighten this a little bit, go to the other side, tighten it a little bit, go to the other side, tighten it a bit more, the other side again, tighten it some more, you get the picture. These should be pretty tight, but be careful not to tighten it too much to crack the acrylic. Okay, there we have it. The gantry is attached and working. Very nice. Okay, we look at the next picture and we are going to start with the electronics. The electronics is in this box. This box is marked with A3 2500 milliwatt. This is the control board, A49 stepper motor drivers and an Arduino Nano, all the cables, and of course the laser, and here we have a power in. Okay, according to the pictures we are using this. You can see this mounting bracket is a little bit different from the picture. You can see the holes on the side of the board here are fitting, so this is the mounting bracket. We need 4 pieces of M3 bolts, 14mm. These ones, 4 pieces. They are going inside this bracket, like so. Turn it around. Let's look at the next picture. There you see that you need 4 of the M3 nylon columns, these small ones. Everything is of course in this box, like so. Next picture. We place the control board, like so. It doesn't matter which way you place it. Next picture. We use these extension bolts, or what you want to call them. We use these to attach the board to the bolts, like so. Next picture. We have this acrylic cover. It's going with the big hole over this on and off button, like so. And to attach this we are using 4 M3 bolts that are 10mm long. On the next picture we are going to attach this control card to the frame using these aluminum extrusion frame bolts. Yeah, since the laser is going on this side and this is going to be the front of the machine, I want to put the control card somewhere here. According to the instructions, this box is going like this. So I'm going to do that now, but in the future I am going to do this differently and make it a little bit better. But for now I'm doing what the instructions says. I have to put the V-nut in on the side here, slam it in. Whoa. Here we have 2. Further down, next picture, we see that we need M3 bolts for that, 8mm. Here there is an error in the assembly instructions, because if you look at the picture, it says that we need M3 bolts, but on the V-nuts we get with the set, we only have these M5 bolts. But you see those also fit in the hole for the control card. I'm using the shortest M5 bolts. I don't really like this mounting of the card, but I will change it later in a future video. For now I do like the instruction says. Okay, there we have mounted the card. Let's go further down. There are no wiring assembly instructions, so we have to figure out the wiring ourselves. Okay, I had to take a little time out to figure out the electronics. I was a bit confused about this card, which came with the controller card. But this card is only used for testing the laser. This means that you can put the power supply directly into this and power the laser directly from this output and use the button on this small card to turn the laser on and off. This confused me a bit, but this is only for testing, so we put that aside for now. On the cable side, we got this cable management thing, where you can put more cables than one. We also got these cable managements, which is going on the sides. We got 2 of these stepper motor cables. These are the same length. I reckon they are going to the stepper motors on the side. The laser and the X-axis stepper motor cable are the same length because they are going to go together up and just over like this. This has to be the poorest cable management in history. I have to do something about this later, but for now I will assemble the machine as it's supposed to be from the factory. So the first thing I want to do is to connect the X-axis stepper motor cable. The outputs on the cards are marked down here. And this then has to go up and connects to the stepper motor. The next thing I'm going to do is to take the laser cable. This has the same plug in both ends. The output is marked laser and I will connect it here. And later I will connect it on the laser. When the X-axis and the laser cable is connected here, we can take this cable management hose and put it over like this. I'm sure there is a tool for this, but I don't have it. The next thing I'm going to do is to connect the Y-axis stepper motors. There is different plugs on both ends, so one will fit in the stepper motor and one will fit on the board. Okay, so I thought a little bit about these cable management plastic things, and I think they are going in on the sides here. First I need cable to go like this and then into the stepper motor like so. And now I think I can manage the cables like this. They are a bit difficult to attach. I had no idea that this was that difficult. That was it. Let's do the same at the other side. I would recommend anyone who buy this to change this cable management system. I sure am. It can be made a lot nicer than this. Yeah, okay, next. There is no mention of this in the assembly instructions, but of course I have to mount the laser, 2.5 watts. I think the button on top here is the low light button, which you use for focusing and testing. I have to figure out that a little bit later, but I will mount the laser now in the bracket. It fits nicely down in the holder. When you tighten the fastening screws, you have to watch out that the laser is straight in the slot. I reckon it's important that the laser is going straight down. Just watching the sides and see that it's straight. Okay, plug in the cable for the laser. So here it is. The machine is finished. I think this will be the end of this build video. And now I build everything mechanically and I wire up the machine. And everything is done as it's supposed to be from the factory. The next thing I have to do now is to install the software and get it working and focusing the laser and everything like that. And I want to do that in a video of its own. So this video was just the opening, unpacking and the building of the machine. Now it's done. If you're interested in more of the laser projects or any other project of mine, please subscribe to my channel. To support me, please visit the links down below to my Instagram, Facebook, website. I bought this laser on Banggood, so down below there is a link for this product and some other lasers. Go and check them out if you want. That's it for now. Until next time, Goodbye.